Hey there, this is John Henny. I am a voice teacher and the author of Teaching Contemporary Singing, which has been an Amazon bestseller in the voice category. Today, I want to talk about keeping your vocal folds hydrated. And particularly, I want to talk about nebulizers. And nebulizers are something you want to look into as a singer. And let's talk about why. We know that water is important for singing. We know proper hydration is important. And what you're doing when you drink water is you're getting systemic hydration. It's going through your system into the vocal folds. And we need that hydration within the cells of your vocal cords. But we also need hydration on the surface of the voice, and that can be a little trickier. And what singers we used to do is we used to use steamers, or we'd get in the shower and we'd breathe the steam. And while that's helpful, it's nowhere near as helpful as a nebulizer. It was about 6 or 7 years ago, I was at a vocal conference, and there were some voice researchers, a number of researchers giving presentations, and one was on nebulizers. And they did an experiment where they had singers breathe dry air from a tank, and then they put different substances into the nebulizer. And what they found was distilled water didn't work so well, actually. It was saline solution that stuck to the vocal folds so much longer and provided much better relief from dry voice. And I'm in Southern California. It gets dry here. There are areas of the world where it's really dry. It's really hard to sing. In Vegas, they call it Vegas throat. The humidity is often ridiculously low. And so we need something to get this moisture on our vocal folds, especially when we're constantly breathing that dry air or air that's been cooked through heating systems or air conditioning systems. So the nebulizer I'm looking at today is the Vocal Mist portable nebulizer. And this is a company that's come along recently. It's a small company here in Southern California. And they've created a nebulizer specifically for singers. Now, you can look at different nebulizers, but the key for singing is you want a mesh nebulizer. And what this mesh nebulizer does is it takes the saline solution. You don't want to put anything else in there. Don't get crazy with essential oils or whatever, because you can ruin the nebulizer and also hurt yourself. You want to make sure it's sterilized saline, 0.9%. And you put it in the nebulizer, and this mesh nebulizer turns it into very fine particles that you can breathe. And this gives you this hydration right on the surface of the vocal folds. And this thing really works. And as a matter of fact, they have found that the relief is even better for female singers than for male singers. And they think it's because the male singer usually has a longer distance to travel until the air hits the vocal folds. It's best to breathe through the nose, but when we're singing quickly, we can't always do that. But still, we get a little more distance for that air to become moisturized. With the shorter vocal tract of the female voice, not as much natural moisturization can take place within the vocal tract. So this gives even greater relief for the female voice. It's really simple to use. You just take this saline solution. You can get it from them, their special hydration formula. Although I think it's basically, you can get 0.9% sterilized saline solution from different sources as well. You can get this on a subscription service. But all you do is you just twist off the top so you know it's been sealed, it's nice and sterilized, and we just pour it into the top here. I'm just going to squirt this in. There we go. And then I put on the cap and I turn it on. And this thing pumps out steam. You can see it. It's not steam. What this is it's vaporizing. It's turning into these little tiny particles, the saline solution. Now, you might ask, why can't I put saline solution into my personal steamer. Well, when it heats up the water and turns it into steam, it leaves the saline behind. You're not going to get it. This is the only way to get the saline on your vocal folds. And all you do, they've got a little mouthpiece here, or you can use it with the mask, and you just breathe it in. And you can feel right away, I can feel there's a little more relief on my vocal folds. And what you want to do is put in this tube of the saline solution. It'll take you about 10 minutes or so to go all the way through it. And you just breathe this in and you go until it's done. And you can turn it off quickly. It'll stop if you need to pause. What I really love about this design, because I have used other nebulizers, and the mesh that's turning it into the particles on this one is vertical. I've had it before where it's laying flat, and what will happen is water will accumulate on the nebulizer and it'll stop. So the one I had before, it would start to kick out steam and then it would stop, and I'd have to shake it, get it off, then it would do the steam again. And it seemed like I was having to do this every 30 seconds or so. But because this is vertical, the water just drops off it. I've been using this, I just got it, but I've already used it about 5 or 6 times, and it'll maybe slow down for a quick second, and then you hear it pick back up again. The water just drips off. So I love the design. The other thing I really like about this is it has rechargeable batteries. So you're not worried about carrying batteries around. It's super small. It's super compact. I just ordered their travel case. I didn't do it when I initially ordered it, but it makes it really simple to carry around. And I mean, when I turn it on, it's just instantaneous. You start getting this really nourishing saline mist to breathe in. It's wonderful. And you can use the mask, and the mask, you can put it right over so you can breathe it down your nasal passages. I really highly recommend this. This will stay on your vocal folds. The key is the saline. It really is. Again, those researchers, they put in different substances. They even put in one of the sprays that singers will use, and they had them breathe that in. Nothing worked as well as the saline solution. And so when I have artists that I work with, when they're going on tour, I tell them you really need to get a nebulizer. And I really think this vocal mist is perfect for singers. Look, you can do your own research. I'm not getting paid to see this. I paid full price for mine. You can do your own research to find a good mesh nebulizer. And what I think this company has done is they have sourced one that works really well for singers. It travels really well. It's compact. Again, the amount of mist that I get out of it is fantastic. It really, really works well. So you could maybe find one a little cheaper, but still they're really reasonably priced. I think they're right around $100. I bought a packet of their hydration formula. Seems to work very well. I'm going to experiment with some other sterilized 0.9% saline solution as well. Again, you don't want to put anything else in there. Don't make your own concoction. You can make your own saline solution, but remember, you're breathing this in. The cleanup is really simple. You just pop the mouthpiece off, you rinse that, the cap comes off, you pour what's in there out, and then you just, this little part of it here, the well will pop out. There's a little button that comes out, and you just let that dry out. And then about every week or so, you run a mixture of distilled water and a little bit of white vinegar through the system. Don't breathe that. You just run it through so it makes sure that there's no deposits, there's no sediment getting in there, there's nothing growing in there, because again, we are breathing it into our lungs, so we want to make sure that it's nice and clean. But I'm telling you, you want to do this for your voice. It doesn't replace proper hydration. The rule of thumb, how much water to drink, they say 8 glasses of water a day. That's kind of a rough estimate. Everyone's different, right? Our diets are different depending on the foods that you eat. If you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, you're already getting a lot of water in your food. You want your urine to be on the pale side. It doesn't need to be completely clear. We can drink too much water, but you don't want your urine dark. That means you may be a little underhydrated. So just keep drinking water through the day. Make sure that your urine is on the paler side towards clear, and use a nebulizer, and you will be in good vocal shape, especially if you combine that with great technique. Hey, if you want to know more about me, please visit my website, johnhenny.com, and be sure to check out my podcast, The Intelligent Vocalist, where I go deeper into voice science, mindset. I have great guests. It really is a fantastic podcast. I have many, many dedicated listeners, and I'd love if you become one. Talk soon.